I don't think it's real because when I was a teenager, I was into 3 relationships at the same time.
Confession.
Let me clean my eyes. Let me clean my ears.
We listen, we don't judge.
Confession.
We'll judge you after. Let's just listen now. We'll judge you after.
No, I think I didn't know what I was doing then because I did not really know what it means to be in a relationship. I was just being led by my feelings and then my teenage, maybe because I felt I had like a big body when I was a teenager, so nobody would tell I was a teenager, but I was. Hi guys, hi everyone, and welcome once again to another episode of the Heart Talk. And if you're new here, thank you so much for coming around. Please be able to hit the red subscribe button, follow this page. Thank you so much. As you can see, I have wonderful guests today, and should I introduce them or they introduce themselves? Which is better? Okay, introduce yourself. Just tell us your name, your department, and just a brief introduction. So what you do. Who's starting first? Abbas, from you.
A few. Okay, yes. Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Hi guys, my name is Herbert.
No, just tell them your name.
My name is Herbert from the Department of Combined Social Sciences. I'm combining psychology and sociology stroke anthropology.
Wow. Okay. Is that all? What's your level?
Currently in 300 level, and I am a researcher. Yeah, I'm a researcher. I do research work. I write scripts, and I think that is basically. I'm a leader too. I'm the class rep of my department level. I think that's basically it.
All right, thank you. Favor.
Okay, hello everyone. My name is Favor Onyechizani. I am from the Department of English and Literary Studies, 300 level. I'm a writer, a creative and a content writer. I'm a graphics designer as well. Nice to meet you guys. Thank you.
Thank you, Chris.
Hi everyone. My name is Praise. I'm a mechanical engineering student, 500 level. I am a robotics engineer, a CAD designer, also a graphics designer. By God's grace, also a writer.
Sure.
What? Why? What? Hey,
I didn't say anything.
Hello,
I didn't say anything.
Which one is this? Why you even do your introduction?
It's fine.
I'm a leader.
It's fine. It's fine.
I'm a leader too.
I forgive you. I forgive you.
I'm the PR of my department.
It's okay. All right, thank you so much. And yeah, today we'll be having a very interesting topic titled Teenage Love. Wow. We want to talk about teenage love. We're seeing a lot on the social media space. We want to delve into this topic and discuss what's the true meaning of teenage love. So let's start with, what does teenage love mean to you? Who is starting first?
Let's separate start this time. I just have this feeling that you have a lot to say. Don't you think?
Don't worry, 1-0.
Okay.
So I'll let that one just slide. Okay, so what's teenage love? Prior to this time, I did not do any research. I just came here and I want to just from whatever I have in my head. So teenage love is, I feel, bringing the two words together, teenager and then love or whatever. It's the feeling of, it's an emotional feeling that exists between teenagers, probably that makes them think they are in a relationship.
Makes them think they're in a relationship.
Think.
Okay, yeah, it's kind of true. Are you objecting what he said, or do you have an opinion?
No, not really.
No, it doesn't have anything in his head. That tap is covering his sense. So there's nothing.
It's
He said there's nothing now.
From my understanding, I feel teenage love is an intense feeling, relationship, emotions that happens during that teenage age.
Okay.
That teenage age.
Favor.
Okay. I'll talk about teenage love. I'm talking about emotions or emotional entanglement or relationship between teenagers, which most often time is driven by infatuation and it's really not right for them at that point. So that's what I understand by teenage love.
Okay, so how about, do you think teenage love is real or is just an infatuation? Are you objecting to what she said? She mentioned infatuation. So do you think it's real? Because, okay, I don't want to mention name, but just to say.
I feel it's real.
Wow. Okay.
It's just this feeling. I feel it's real because when you talk about infatuations, basically what you're talking about is sexual attraction, right? Sexual attraction. I feel sometimes teenagers just get this deep connection. There's just this deep connection that makes them, that brings this intense feeling, and that intense feeling is not really infatuation, it's just a teenage stuff. That's just what I feel.
For me, I don't think it's real because when I was a teenager, I was into 3 relationships at the same time.
Confession.
Let me clean my eyes. Let me clean my ears.
We listen, we don't judge.
Confession.
We'll judge you after. Let's us listen now. We'll judge you after.
Now, I think I didn't know what I was doing then because I did not really know what it means to be in a relationship. I was just being led by my feelings and then my teenage, maybe because I felt I had like a big body when I was a teenager, so nobody would tell I was a teenager, but I was. So I was dating a guy in school, in my street, in the church as a teenager because I didn't really understand what it means to be in love. So to me, I feel it's an infatuation. I don't think it's real love. Or what do you have to say?
Me?
Yes.
Okay. I don't think it's real, and I don't think it's totally infatuation.
It don't start.
Chill. You give your point, let me give mine.
Oh no, I'm listening.
I don't think it's totally, like, I don't think every emotion or like every relationship a teenager was pioneered by purely infatuation.
That's a point.
So to an extent, the thing is, teenagers, they are going through a particular phase. At that particular phase, they have hormonal changes that makes them want to that makes people like the opposite sex attracted, like you understand,
Each other, yeah.
You understand? So I feel at that point in time, all they want is just, okay, they want to probably understand themselves. They understand if this feeling actually is what it is. So let me try this out. You understand? So I don't think it's purely infatuation. To an extent, it's also real, and to an extent, it's actually infatuation. That's my point.
Right. So I have another question here. Can teenagers genuinely understand love, or does maturity change their perspective later? Do you think they can genuinely understand the concept of love?
That's deep.
Okay, I don't really think they understand the concept of love genuinely, because at that point their mental state and their experience in life is not so deep enough for them to understand the true meaning of love. Now I want to talk about the true meaning of love. If you're a Christian, 1 Corinthians 13 from verse 1 to the end will tell you the true meaning of love, and this is what some of them don't know. True meaning of love, when we talk about love is about sacrifice. It's about a lot. It has a lot attached to it, and these persons are too young to understand what it really is. So at that point they are not emotionally stable enough to understand what the true meaning of love is, let alone engaging in it to its full term. So I think they don't really understand what love is at that point. I don't know if I answered your question.
Yes, you did. Please, can you speak more on love, like what love truly means? The Christ kind of love. Why are you laughing?
What do you mean?
Oh, we are listening. She said you should.
You
speak
also
on-
give your own
Okay.
view about
Okay.
that. So be getting ready.
Love does not hurt itself. Charity is love. God is love, actually. That a man sends his only begotten son to come and die for us. That's actually the real meaning of love. Any kind of love, apart from that particular meaning, then it's fake. So the question is, if you're a teenager in this particular relationship, and then you're probably going on the road, and you are being approached by assassins or armed robbers, and they're like, they point a gun at your partner, submit this or your life. Can you stand in for the person and be like, no, don't shoot him, just take me instead? If you cannot, then that's not love. Because I've seen people in like my marriages where probably something wants to happen to the wife and the husband takes responsibility of everything. That actually is love. If the love hasn't gotten to that extent, then it's not actually love. So to that question she asked, if teenagers can understand, like if they
Understand the concept.
concept of love very, very well. For me, if they do, then I don't think there would be the amount of breakups that we have today.
Yeah,
I don't think it will
talk about
exist
that.
because heartbreaks and everything. Even in marriages, there is still like no one is matured. There's nobody that comes out that graduates from the school of love. It's continuous, like till you die actually.
What do you have to say about that?
I'm afraid I would have to agree with.
You're afraid.
So you have to, okay.
Because I believe teenagers are most of the time driven by impulsivity. If I want to define impulsivity now in this context, teenagers tend to act more on their emotions when it comes to the aspect of love, because they tend to they tend to go through any mile to do anything for the other partner, and they claim it is love. And I do not see this as love. I see it as impulsivity, right? They are acting on their emotions without thinking about the consequences. They do not think about the consequences that would befall them. They just act, which is what I feel is leading to a lot of breakups, because they feel it's love, but they don't know that it is not love, it is impulsivity, and it gets the better of them every time. So that's just what I think.
Let me just let me give an example of what he says. So while I was a teenager, there was this friend in church who was, because we're like in the same circle and everything. And then I had a story that she got pregnant and then was hiding the pregnancy, and then the baby died in the womb. The baby was decayed in the womb, and then it was deteriorating. The semen was everywhere. Then when it was getting too serious, and she kept quiet. She had fear of not wanting to speak out. Until when they carried her to the hospital at Lutz and found out there was a dead baby in the womb. And this was as a result of teenage love. So that's just an example of the impulsivity we spoke about. Let's now brings us to the other subtopic. Let's talk about the emotional and psychological aspects. How does teenage love affect emotions and mental health? Just as I said now with this story I spoke about. How does teenage love affect your emotion and your mental health? Can you talk about it? And also, if you've been, let me now narrow it down. Let's say you've had an experience, you can also share your experience with us. Who is speaking first? These people, they have experience. You won't speak up.
Please.
Me, mommy, mo. Na you mo.
You won't speak.
Since okay, I think I'll go first. I'll talk about the psychological effect. You see, I think teenage love, I think I've experienced it before. So the thing is that teenage love has a lot it comes with. It has a way of destabilizing your your head, like your mental health. And one of the ways is that you lose concentration or focus on necessary things or important things. You see yourself when you're supposed to be reading, or where you're supposed to delve into different aspects to be able to different recreational aspects for you to be able to develop yourself. But you see yourself in the house, maybe chewing your pen, looking up the ceiling, and you are thinking of somebody else entirely. And then you find out that all of this is just rubbish. In the case where the person you think about does not even think about you, does not even care. Such kind of thing makes your health, your mental health is destabilized or affected. And by so doing, you don't give full concentration to your studies, and that can also affect your academic performance. So you can see that teenage love is actually not advisable for young ones who are still developing and still has a long way to go about them knowing themselves, like developing themselves. So if you really want to develop yourself to be able to achieve God's purpose for your life, then teenage love is out of the box for you.
Wow, thank you so much, Favor. Praise, do you have anything to say about that?
All right. Let me just chip in a few. So, teenage age is that particular age where you are supposed to grow different aspects of your life, where you are still finding your purpose, finding your means. Now, if you probably go into a teenage relationship at that point in time, there are many things that can actually affect you. You might think it's all fun, you might think it's all just flexing and stuff like that, but it's not. The time, it's very time consuming. Time that you're supposed to use to do other things, that you're supposed to use to probably read a book, or probably read your Bible, or do other meaningful things.
Learn a skill.
Yeah, learn a skill. Then you invest this time probably in talking to somebody that you still break up with in like 2 weeks or 3 weeks. I mean, not lie, because it doesn't go far like that. So you're wasting your time, your energy on all those things to affect you. And then when the breakup actually happens, it's going to affect your mental health, obviously. Okay, let me cite this example. There's this particular boy. It's not like it's me. Don't look at me that
Okay, we listen.
forgive you. Shut up your mouth. So there was this particular time. The boy was in 200 level. So he was in a relationship, and then towards exam period, he broke up. Exam period though, like exam period had already begun already, and then he broke up. Now, instead of him to be reading, he was busy sulking. Like, he could not really read because like, he was disoriented. Like, nothing was entering and all that stuff. And then when he saw the results, it was actually below par, like below what he could have done. So it's just an example. If you venture into this teenage love or teenage relationship stuff, and you're not ready, because obviously teenagers are not ready. You've not grown psychologically,
Stamina.
emotionally, financially, and everything. If you venture in it, at some point in time, to come back to haunt you. That's what I have to say.
It takes away their time, and at the end of the day, it's not worth it because it eventually affects them psychologically. It affects them emotionally. It affects them even physically, because some of them will be like somebody that have not eaten for like five years. So I think that is it.
Okay, so let's conclude with this. What advice would you give to teenagers about love and relationship? So advice from everyone.
For me, one advice I would give to teenagers out there is to concentrate on what matters for now. Yes, I don't think you should bother yourself with love and all that it entails. I think you should give your time to what is necessary, your academics and your service to God. That is what matters at this point, because you are still finding your step, you are still finding yourself. You are here to develop yourself to that extent that God has created for you to be. So for you, all you have to do at this point is give yourself to study and give yourself to God. All of these things will come at its own time. There is time for everything according to Ecclesiastes. And so at this point, I don't think it's time for you to venture into emotional affairs like love. The love of your parents is enough. The love of those around you that cares is enough. So every other thing, if it doesn't really matter, you can be friends with the opposite sex. Yes, you can be friends with people, but let it be just friendship. Let it be just, okay, I'm gaining something from this person, I'm getting something from this person, we are just friends and nothing more. Don't give yourself emotional heartbreaks. Some persons think maybe heartbreaks is when you're in a relationship with somebody and the person backs out. That's not the only thing that causes heartbreaks. When you love somebody and the person does not love you back, it's also a way of causing heartbreak. Or you admire somebody and you find out that the person admires another person, it could cause heartbreak as well. All of those things are not necessary at this point because it makes your heart not to focus on what you should focus on. There are skills to learn, there are things to do, there are a lot of things about you to develop that if you really want to know yourself, all you just have to do is submit yourself to God and to your academics, to your educational upbringing. So all of these things are things you should consider, and let love wait till when it's due. There is time for it, so allow it wait till when it's due.
So
How
allow
about-
it to wait till when it is due. I love that.
Yes,
Please
sir.
speak in this.
How about please?
Teenage love is a distraction. Yeah, it's a distraction. Just focus that energy on any other thing. Get creative. Do things that will help you grow. Do things that will help you develop yourself physically, mentally, socially. Do any other thing. Just don't get involved in teenage love. God bless you.
Okay, for me, there is this particular rule. I discovered it mid last year, early last year, and then it's helped me. With that rule, I don't have to stop myself about anything. It says, why go about chasing butterflies when you can build your own garden? As a teenager, your old age or your 40s depends on now. If you don't prepare now, then by then it's going to be anyhow, anywhere life pushes you. So for now, instead of probably getting distracted or involving yourself in this love stuff, why not just invest your time, your energy into your life, your skills, your time with God and everything. And then when that time comes, God will give you somebody that actually wants you. Because many people around do not actually want you. You are incredible, you're unique. They don't want you. So giving your time to them actually doesn't make sense. You understand? Just like you're putting, how do they say, put old wine in a new bottle or something. So it's not worth it. So instead of that, build a garden. Build yourself, invest in yourself.
Yeah.
Instead of giving those 2K to, understand, people that will be disturbing you for data and all those stuff. Instead of that, like, why not just choose peace of mind? Because this is actually peace of mind.
Yeah.
And with this, actually, you would find out that my mom told me something. Said when you build yourself, instead of you chasing ladies for guys, you'd find out that eventually they will be the one chasing you, and you'll be the one like, okay, I don't want this one, I want this. Because actually that's it. That's what will happen eventually. So just know that you yourself, you're unique, you're amazing. Grow, like, build yourself very, very well, and then you find out that everything will come when time comes. It's time for everything.
Yeah. Okay, I would also want to chip in that don't feel intimidated by those who seem to be in relationship. You know, these days, the way the society has made it to look like if you are single at age, maybe from 13, if you are single, it's as if you are worthless. Like, right. Who is this kind of person? What planet are you coming from? Sure, you get, but then don't be intimidated by them. All of those things are fleeting. With time, it will go. With time, it will die. They are just rumbling emotions, let me put it that way. Infatuation, exactly, and they will die at some point. So don't allow that distract you. Just focus.
Wow, thank you so much for all you've said. I'm really, really grateful. I hope you'll be able to take one or two lessons from what our guest speakers have spoken for today. Thank you so much for listening and tuning in to this channel, to this page. God bless you. Stay tuned for the next episode on the Heart Talk. See you next week.
And don't forget to like and
share and subscribe.
Exactly.
Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.